Welcome to War Profiteers, the channel where I expose who really wins when nations fall. Today Libya, the fall of Gaddafi, and the lucrative chaos that followed. Libya, once Africa's wealthiest country per capita, home to the great man-made river project, universal healthcare and free education. Under Gaddafi, Libya charted its own course, outside the influence of the West. But in 2011, the world watched as Libya crumbled. NATO forces, France, the UK, the US, launched an intervention supposedly to protect civilians. The outcome? Gaddafi was captured and killed, the country thrown into civil war. But was it ever about humanitarianism? Let's rewind. Gaddafi wasn't just a dictator, he was a Pan-Africanist. He pushed for a united African currency backed by gold. He funded African infrastructure and independence projects. This threatened Western financial dominance, especially France's hold over its former colonies. French President Sarkozy? He'd received millions from Gaddafi for his 2007 election. By 2011, Sarkozy was a leading voice demanding Gaddafi's removal. Why? Some argue he wanted to silence Gaddafi, avoid exposure, and seize Libya's oil. NATO's intervention began with airstrikes. The UN called it a humanitarian mission, but it became regime change. In under a year, Libya's central government collapsed. A power vacuum emerged. Now let's follow the money. First, arms dealers. Libya was a windfall for military contractors. BAE Systems, Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, all saw more business. France, the UK, the US spent billions on military operations. That money cycled into defense firms and private contractors, then oil. Libya's oil reserves are the largest in Africa. After Gaddafi, French oil giant Total and others rushed in. Western-backed Libyan factions were promised slices of the pie. Oil terminals changed hands as militias fought for control. Libya's sovereign wealth fund, $200 billion, was frozen by Western nations. Much of it, still missing. Some vanished into global banks, never traced. In 2020, a UN report raised alarms. Libya's frozen assets were being used by Western institutions with zero oversight. Private security firms like Academy, formerly Blackwater, joined the fray, paid handsomely to protect oil, train militias, conduct surveillance. Human traffickers raked in fortunes as Libya became a major hub for refugee smuggling. The Coast Guard collapsed, criminal syndicates operated freely. Desperate migrants were captured, sold, even traded in open-air slave markets. Qatar, Turkey, Egypt, the UAE all backed different factions. Their money, weapons, and political maneuvers fueled the conflict and secured their own interests. Today, Libya is a nation in fragments. Two rival governments, endless militias, foreign troops. A proud state that challenged Western hegemony now hosts foreign military bases, proxy militias, mercenaries. But for some, this chaos is profitable. The black market booms, smugglers, warlords, and corrupt politicians siphon millions from oil. Banks looted, public services collapsed, schools, hospitals, the great man-made river decaying. Meanwhile, France, the US, and others gained oil, arms contracts, and power. So who really won when Libya fell? Not the Libyan people, not Africa. It was a network of foreign governments, corporations, arms dealers, contractors, all feeding off the chaos. And they're still feeding. This is the truth they won't teach in school. This is the other side of war. Profit, power, plunder. Stay tuned for the next episode of War Profiteers, because behind every war there's always someone cashing in.